Hi, in this video I'm going to cover cohort AOV per month. AOV stands for average order value, and in this metric we look at it by cohorts. We have another metric that you're familiar with, the linear one where we look overall. This metric looks at one more dimension, which is the cohorts. So this is a grid, and to refresh your memory, if you go under AOV right here, you can see the average order value over time. In this demo account, the average order value is going to be hovering around $30. And if you look at the table for the details, it's literally just 20 cents above or below all the time. So it doesn't inform too much. If you were to segment it in different ways, you'd notice that not all orders are created the same way. But what you're lacking is understanding, are new customers spending more, or existing customers spending more over time or less, and that's what the cohort AOV is for. So you can see here, it's a cohort view. Each customer is placed in the cohort of their first purchase. June 2020 cohort will contain all the customers who placed their first order in June 2020, all 12,000 of them. And in the first month, we're gonna look at all the revenue from that cohort from that month and divide it by the number of orders for that cohort for that month. And that will give us the average order value. So it's literally how much or each customer is spending per order. And over time, you can see if your prices increase, that the AOV will increase going down in this table. And if customers spend more over time, not necessarily as a whole, but per order, you're going to see that number AOV going up. If they spend a lot in the first order and then buy recharges for your product over time, it's going to be smaller orders or high orders, depends on the business model you operate with. One thing that's important to note is that some of these cells will contain more orders and some less, fewer orders, depends on the number of orders. So we've covered in another video the orders per month. Orders per month tells you how many orders there were in each month, and this one is not cumulative, so you can just literally take that number, and then the lifetime revenue is really the revenue we're looking at, except this one is cumulative, so you start low and then you keep going up, right? In order to do AOV, we don't do cumulatively, we look at the revenue for each month, but you can't get that by subtracting the previous column essentially. So that's how we get it. What's important is the segmentation. So there are a few caveats here. The segmentation works as usual, which makes sense except for orders. When you look at products, we're looking at the AOV for, in this case, let's take a single cohorts, but in this case was phone grant. Now we're looking at single cohorts, I did that here, April 2020, and we're looking at per product. So what's the AOV for that cohort, specifically by product? Over time, customers may come back and purchase another product entirely, right? It depends on your business. Some of them are subscription on one product or two products, and it's going to be the same over and over. But here it could be that people buy desktop, laptop first, and then over time, they just buy anything else. So that's why there's a higher AOV here. Same thing with the phone. Lower AOV because the price of this product is strangely placed at $18 on our demo. And it's a burner phone, definitely. And then over time, we revert back to the $30 average because customers are buying just about anything again. So depending on the volume, depending on the size, it could be skewed heavily towards a few products. So just always carefully look at the size of the cohorts and the number of people. But that shows you the differences. So here it's interesting to see the average order value because earlier you could see how much people were spending. Now you can see exactly how much each order was. And if they spend over 2 orders in a month, obviously it's going to be the average there. So that's the metric. All the segments work the same. So if they're on the order, like the product and the shipping destination, it's always going to be on the first order. And if it's on the customers, like customer tags, although we don't have any on this demo, or the attribution window, the channels, etc., all of that are going to be on the customer, so it's going to be applied to the customer throughout, and that's the same. So that's it. If you have any questions on AOV, this is a very important metric, so don't hesitate, just ping us on Intercom, or email us, or book a call with us, and we'll be happy to cover that with you. Thanks so much.